Sunday night. It's a school night. So we're just going to have to find some time in the week. It'll be okay. You can save it. You can save that. It's okay. Well, KINH or Sandbox could save it, because there is a 10:30 session that we might be able to make if this one is going to be a quick series. I'm not sure whether it will be, as Jinna have confirmed their slot in relegation. I don't know whether that was mentioned yesterday, but that was when that moment occurred. There was a bright spark, much like Alderaan in Star Wars A New Hope, that was suddenly silenced.
I like that.
As Jinna fell to Gen G.
All right, well, today, it is possible, okay, that Sandbox can fall to the east side.
There's also a possibility that the team in 7th place is one victory away from first place.
Wait.
As in, like, one match score.
Oh, yeah,
One match score away. Of course, I mean, it'll take more than that to get across like, different game scores and things like that. However, one match victory will separate first place and 7th place if KINH can win here today. And I want it, just for science, because I just don't think it's ever been this close moving into our second last week of the regular season ever. This is so incredibly neck and neck.
Yeah.
Between our top teams.
Take a look at some of the points of the match. We've got a long way to go, though. Losing streaks. 3 matches KINH versus 2 matches Sandbox. And then 2 best teams in round 1. KINH 6 wins, 3 losses versus Sandbox. 7 wins, 2 losses. However, are down in round 2. Both 2 wins, 3 losses scoreline. And then KINH's playoff warning sign is on. If they win 2-0, they become 5th place. 2-1 remains on 7th place.
And 7th place is, you know, that's the edge of the abyss.
7th place basically is 2nd place?
Yeah, that is, and it's also at the moment like the edge of the abyss at the moment, because that's 8 wins versus the next team being on 4. So there is no way you're falling down below that unless something goes catastrophically wrong or catastrophically right for a team like Humble Life, who looked good in our first series of the day against Damwon, knocking them down 2-0, looking pretty handedly. Able to do that. We're going to check out these games here, as average loss time is a fun one. Sandbox don't like playing losing games for very long. They like to get out of them as quickly as possible, which is why they lose the fastest out of any other team. That being said, you can see it's still relatively long. It's not like we have 25-minute games here in the LCK. We still have games that go relatively long, but an average of 30 minutes is much shorter than a lot of other games that we've seen.
Yeah, it definitely is. And look at the win rate with first turret. Not as high as some teams here.
That is true. That is true.
In the LCK.
But third for KINH ain't too bad, and it just shows that they're able to transition leads relatively well. They are a snowbally team. They do utilize advantages in lanes very effectively, and if Cuz is working well, they do really good things. As you can see, this was pretty decent against Faker in their most recent loss to SK Telecom. It was a 0-1. We're going to struggle to find too many great things about how this one has gone. But Nayeon bringing out the old life-form disintegration ray relatively well. Very Fly-esque in that series. Wasn't enough to win.
The Vel'Koz, it was nice to see, though. You know, we get pretty tired of seeing Corki Azir here.
Absolutely.
Every single time. It's nice when some of the counter champions do end up being picked up.
That was a really nice sidestep there from Deft as well to avoid getting hit by the chain lash. Bit of an in from Khan, though, you have to say, is Griffin versus Summit. It was another 0-2 as Sandbox fell to the struggling Griffin. You have to remember that this is not the Griffin with their regular season dominance that we've otherwise seen. I mean, this was Summit still styling, but ultimately wasn't a victory for the squad.
Summit is becoming more and more like Keen was on Afrika, where you can always rely on him to stop his opposition for the most part and be reliable as a mechanical monster. Yeah. But sometimes the rest of the members, they don't quite pull it together. So
that is true. And I told a lie, it was a 2-1. So they did manage to win one of the games.
Take a look at the Cataclysm right there. That Tom Ken, he was pretty cooked right there.
Nice Clash of Vision, though, managing to get a point-blank range onto one and then max range onto another. Not too bad from LUHEN's, but this is not his highlight. This was Sandbox cleaning the floor of a Griffin team in one of the games.
We'll take a look at the key player comparison. Key player comparison. There you go. You like that?
Yeah, got it in the end.
You like that one? A little bit surprised that it is going to be the jungler matchup here.
Yep.
As gold per minute on Fleek is first by 7 gold. So, between first and fourth, it's almost the same. It's 7. That's actually. I'm actually curious what second and third are. That would be really
329
interesting.
and 327. I'm not sure. As you can see, Vision Score is actually first for Cuz, and both of these players very good at taking damage. And I think that's because they've got a fast and loose playstyle. Both Cuz and OnFleek do really like to get in amongst it, and very early on in the game as well. So this will be pretty explosive. Both of these teams do like to play proactively, for better or for worse. So who's going to be ahead of the curve and who's not is going to be the question mark here. KINHZone start off with the correct colors on our blue side. They're going to be making their way into LoL Park first up. DZôN on the bottom side of the map. Neon, of course, with a smile on his face. Rascal and Cuz. Of course, a non-changing roster. No subs available. These are the players that are going to have to non-changing roster. No subs available. These are the players that are going to have to be playing here. As Deft is often very stoic, but I think I can see a bit of angry Deft. The alpaca is ready to take some names.
Do you think that he's angry?
That's what I'm feeling.
Do you think that he saw Morel and Omicron built on Kai'Sa too, or?
Yeah, I think he saw that, and he's going to play Jinx.
He must be fuming right now. He's looking behind him.
Yeah.
He's making sure no one.
Yeah, making sure Sungyun is actually left LoL Park so that he's not there infecting other people.
Really
with
disappointed.
Morel and Omicrons and things like that.
Morel and Omicron.
Yeah.
It's the way that it deserves to be.
Pretty
Sandbox, they're getting ready to come out on stage here.
Yeah, and I feel like we explained this last time, and Sandbox's top side of the map, probably a little bit ahead of where KINHZone's are, especially with Summit being so incredibly powerful. However, they lose out on the bottom side. Ghost and Joker are going to have to get themselves together, and with the Tahm Kench nerfs over and over again, Joker is probably our most stalwart Tahm Kench player here in the LCK. He really does like to unbench the Kench when possible, but it's more of a dangerous prospect here with all of the nerfs slowly piling up week after week. And DZôN, they do like to run the Tahm Kench as well, but we know that DZôN has a lot more up his sleeve than what Joker's champion pool has offered us in the past.
Yeah. And Sandbox, given that they have the red side available to them, we'll see what kind of counter picks they might be able to utilize for the mid and top lane. Bot meta is pretty stale right now.
Yeah.
Then again, mid lane is stale as well. Corki in his ear.
We'll see how many Kai'Sas we're going to get in this series as well. Kai'Sa's just become so much more popular over recent matches. Here I on your screen right now trying to convince his team to pick the right champions and use them correctly.
He's like, you think that we're not picking these champs?
And he's been seeing him around LoL Park so far today. He's been in very high spirits. Hirai has been a coach that's sometimes lent towards more of the overly serious side.
Deft is,
yeah, I know,
Deft's
right?
not in the mood today.
He's staring daggers at that particular model.
Well,
and when he has that look on his face, players get bodied. That's what happens.
Is that what happens?
That is what happens.
Like, so are you saying that Deft's gonna pull out the Gragas?
Oh no, he's playing Jinx. I know.
You said bodied.
Yeah, not body slammed. Bodied.
I don't want to talk to you. First Lion King, now this. I'm upset.
I can tell.
You're gonna do
that
the play-by-play. I'm gonna do the color.
That's our jobs.
Oh,
well done. Nailed it.
Gragas.
I know. Oh god.
Man.
No, they can't do any bodying. It's ruined.
You really did lie to me.
Yeah, I apologize.
I am getting very upset.
Well, Kai'Sa really popular. I actually would have liked KINHZone to go towards a Gragas pick, but they're not going to want to do that. Is Sandbox going to ban Ezreal and Yuumi? And if Deft and DZôN had their hands on those two champions, you could understand that the next game, a ban would be coming in. So I like the bans. Ezreal very, very strong at the moment. Deft, fantastic Ezreal player, ban it away. Last ban to come in here from Sandbox is the Jace was taken away from Summit. See where Rascal is going to point his priority. I'd like a Nico lock-in, personally. Ooh. But I don't know whether that will happen.
How about a Zero Corki?
Oh, Corki's going to be picked, isn't I hate you.
Just do me in already.
I hate
And
you.
now you know that Sandbox with the Azir enthusiast. Are you ready for another one of these, Atlas?
Azir Sejuani comes in immediately. If it happens, I'm going to be very upset. All right, Karma. There we go.
Don't even think that that's
I don't know why I'm positive about Karma, but it's not Azir. Karma Azir. Give it to me.
Well,
No, we're not going to be picking Azir into Corki. That's a silly decision. We see Corki picked into Azir, right? Right, guys? Come. It's just
don't get your hopes up, Alex.
can't happen.
Don't get your hopes up, okay? Karma is picked, but we don't know if that's gonna be. Oh, we might get some diversity. Hold on. That.
Whoa. Oh my goodness, it's
Ali.
happening.
Hold on. Hold my hand.
Tom Kench, Ezreal. No, I can't be Ezreal.
That's my leg.
Tom Kench, Jinx. Tom Kench. Oh my god, if you.
Oh, you
Is
were
the day
right.
saved?
You
Is
read
the
it.
day saved?
He was very.
No, it's going to be Varus.
Oh my God.
And the Varus is strong lane alongside the Tom Kench historically. Tom Kench taking a few hits, but it's still going to be pretty good. Def just likes TuSin to be on Tom Kench so that he can play super far up the lane without having to care about trade damage. And this is what he does when it's Angry Deft. Angry Deft just demands Tom Kench from TuSin and says, do what you're told. And I was talking to TuSin in the Rift Rivals after party, and he was explaining how this particular mindset works, and I was like, how do you feel about it? He's like, well, we win every one of those games. And I was like, all right, well, I guess it sounds fine then. As
Doesn't
the
sound
Braum's
that
going to
bad.
be locked in as the answer means that Karma is going to be heading towards a solo lane, or I guess, as we learnt in the LEC,
You saw that, right?
you know, Reckless piloting that Karma to a, I think, 1-4 scoreline, so maybe we won't see it on the bottom side of the map.
You know, if these picks were reversed, maybe I would say that Deft was inspired by his good friend Reckless, and that we were going to see a mid Varus and then an AD Karma, but turns out we get the Braum versus the Tom Kench, so heaven forbid.
Well, I mean,
abuse
that
it.
is the classic pick into
Right.
the Tom Kench. Or the classic pick if you're Effort. Effort just loves to play Martyr champions. Absolutely hilarious. Just shows who his teacher is. The Aurelia and the Kennen have been banned away here. Some rascal bans on the side of Sandbox as the Xin Zhao is going to leave the hands of Onfleek and Cogmore. Interesting. So Karma, of course, does open up a lot of Juggermore-type compositions.
Yeah.
Juggermore, interestingly, of course, named after the Rocks Tigers composition that they came up with, which was all about the Cogmore, but you can use it with a whole lot of different hyper carries. That hyper carry choice is going to be limited by its namesake in the Cogmore.
Lock in the Draven. No, we don't get to have fun.
Well, look, Glacial Synergy, bottom side.
Very powerful.
Not bad. Going to get you Ranger and Guardian if you're playing Nobles.
Ooh,
Brilliant.
okay.
Get to level 8 with
yeah.
all of those units, and you're feeling pretty good, am I right?
Fantastic. Excellent analysis right there.
Thank you. Got to get some TFT in where I can.
Yeah.
Ash going to be the pickup, and KingZone now to respond as
finally.
Rascal goes towards the Kled. I love this, especially if it's going to be that top lane Karma, which is almost guaranteed. You're not going to be playing Jungle Akali, are you? We're saving the last pick for Onfleek, and so Rascal's going to get that counter pick. I love this.
Jungle Karma.
Ah, Jama.
Karma. Oh my lord.
Very similar to Drama.
Now, the cool thing about the Kled also is the healing reduction that he has will hurt the Karma.
And it's going to be Cuz
And-
on the
ooh.
Karthus. So we've got a lot of, well, magic damage actually coming
There's
out
actually,
of the Corki.
there's a fair bit of magic, and then also you have to consider that Varus deals magic damage as well, so
Yeah.
I actually don't like...
Oh, no, not necessarily. Because this composition can actually sort of meld into a poke and then engage comp if you go Lethality Varus.
Ooh.
And Deft is our Lethality
Ooh.
Varus player.
Okay.
So look to the keystones at the beginning of the game. If you're seeing some sneaky comets there could be a chance that Deft has gone for something a little bit crazy.
Okay. We'll have to wait and see, actually, if it is the lethality. And as you're bringing that up, that would probably be the best course of action for them. Although it doesn't have as much synergy with the Kled.
That is true. You want to be
So,
getting yourself in there and
yeah.
getting amongst it. So not going to be super
would
fantastic. But we'll see.
definitely be a little interesting. Now, on the side of Sandbox, their team composition is very engage heavy. They want to go in with the Ashe Ultimate, the Cataclysm, and the Akali is going to have pretty much free reign. It's going to be like a game we saw earlier on in the week where the Tahm Kench just struggles to try to protect.
Yeah, it's like he needs
the
all the Devours. He needs to be able to devour his team.
Yeah.
But doesn't quite have the ability to do that.
So we're going to take a look at the two team compositions one more time. Varus, Tahm Kench, Corki, Karthus, and Kled up there in the top lane. Now, this team comp does have 4 champions, essentially, that don't slow down. They're going all the way. And so it's going to be interesting to see if Sandbox can actually end this before 3 items, because if they can't, they're going to have to give the leg up to KingZone in terms of draft. Even though Karma is very obnoxious, the Akali and Ashe are going to have a much more difficult time in the later stages. This is a very explosive mid-game comp.
Yeah. I'm excited to see how it is going to work. We'll see whether Jarvan changed his summoner spells or whether the teleport spellbook has come in. Let's find out in game 1. Now, the question you've all been waiting for. He's got Conquer. You were all baited. Everyone was baited.
Well,
my producer was baited.
Yeah, I mean, it's a little sad. Now, let me tell you something.
Tell me something.
Cuz is using the Arthas Menethil skin.
Uh-huh.
So,
tell me more.
It's the worst skin.
Oh.
It has an indicator on the Q's radius.
Yikes.
So, a little bit unfortunate there. The best Karthus skin. Do you have a favorite Karthus skin?
No.
No, you don't? I personally like the Ermac skin.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. You know Ermac from Mortal Kombat?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, alright. The Ermac skin's the best, not this Arthas pre-Lich King type skin that they have here.
And he wasn't a sorcerer pre-Lich King, he was like a knight or a paladin, you know?
Yeah, I think he was a paladin.
Yeah.
Yeah, so very unfortunate.
I mean, he was a did you say very unfortunate?
You like that?
Oh, there we go! Look
like
at
that?
you with your World of Warcraft knowledges. Amazing.
Thank you very much. I'll be here all night. Oh, Nahon!
Okay.
Going top, actually.
Bit of a cute little lane swap situation.
Yeah.
Where Rascal is going to try his best to punish Dove. Let's see whether he can do that as that bear trap on a rope goes down. Lands the next one as well. You ain't healing at all, Dove.
I just thought about something.
Oh,
let me give you a skin idea.
Give it to me.
Are
Give
you
it to
right?
me.
Normally, you know, we've been lacking on these in recent weeks.
That's true. It's true. We
How
had one
about-
earlier on. Wasn't too bad.
How about a Chocobo for Kled to ride on?
Oh, hell yeah.
Right, and they drop it at the same time as Final Fantasy.
Oh
my.
A collab?
Think about
Square Enix collab?
I am just seeing dollar signs.
So am I. I'm seeing them leave my bank account.
Yeah. Exactly. That's what I'm talking about.
Oh, dream. That's stunning. Make it happen. Let's email Riot. I always forget to
You need to
email
get
them
on
when I
that,
say that,
yeah.
but I really need to actually do it for
There
this.
needs to be skin suggestion hotline.
What about what about a Kled skin where he's riding a Zia?
Like
Or a
that.
Nivea. There'd be like this skin line where just like Scarl is all the different like bird characters
Like
or animal characters.
Oh my
It's
god.
like hijack,
Master Hunter.
Yeah, or like hijack Kled and he's like riding
Oh, you talked about it. You ran away.
riding Quinn's bird. What's Quinn's bird called?
Wait a sec. Hold on. Valor.
Valley, yeah,
But
yeah. He's riding
Kled,
Valley.
when he ults, it could play the Chocobo song.
Oh my god.
Oh man.
So good.
We're just printing money at this point.
I think so. It might even be irresponsible to make that skin because
Yeah.
it'd be too many people buying a cosmetic product. that
Yeah,
doesn't
and then
make
they nerf Kled.
Yeah,
That's how it tends to go.
they probably need to. He's pretty strong.
Yeah.
At the moment, doing his best to abuse the Akali, but failing to do so. He's behind by a few CS, but the lane state is heading towards him. Neon's missing basically every creep up here, which is a bit of a disaster.
And Nahon's doing a really bad job at this top lane Corki.
Yep.
Against the Karma, the lane swap not really panning out that well, and he is going up against Summit. So,
But Cuz has hard farmed his jungle, looking for a back timing. He's going to go home, upgrades his jungle item, gets himself some shoes. Just doing some shopping here as Rascal calls Skull, picks him back up again. He's he's going to be A-okay. Eating through that potion now as Dove has been able to harass him relatively effectively. And does this matchup sort of change? Is it supposed to be Akali favored in the early game, or is it supposed to be Rascal running over the top with this matchup?
Well, the Akali can lose out to the Kled pretty easily. Kled is definitely a nightmare for her, especially in the later stages. And then Kled being planted in the middle lane gives him access to roam top and bot.
That is true. That is true.
Very, very easily.
Of course, I believe when Kled made his resurgence, it was Doinby that started it off.
Right.
Back when he was back on Rogue Warriors last year.
Yeah,
so
it was Doinby.
Yeah, theoretically, actually, initially started off as a mid lane pick, which is odd. Neon coming in here, trying to get some damage onto Summit. Does get a lot in there, actually. Is going to follow with the Valkyrie, and Summit's just getting all of the money out of this Corki. Prioritizes the minions for that Q, though. Bad news bears.
And also, Corki has Kleptomancy. Or, Corki, I'm sorry. He's going up against Kleptomancy. He has Electrocute.
Yeah. He goes back and gets a Culver.
Right.
Oh, easily. He's also now going to go back.
He's struggling, though.
Yeah, he's going back mid lane because he's like, nah, I'm sick
I can't do this. Yeah.
Stupid armor. But speaking of Electrocute,
yeah, the lane swaps are just not panning out. And I have to wonder if this was just an improvision that they came up with. Ooh, nice observer. Look at the observer.
Well,
they're on point.
Yeah, Neon picks up this minion wave. He's going to move it over to the side. And that should be able to get it into a pretty decent lane state. As OnFleek's going to get licked and then moves over. Deft, you can see, ahead in farm against the Ashe. The Varus arrows, in theory, looking better than the Ashe variety.
Well, KingZone is not doing that well so far in this game. Look at the mid and top lane XP disparity.
Yeah, I mean, this is sort of like where the gap was supposed to be, right? In theory, on paper, for both of these teams. I mean, Ghost and Joker are the weakest links. As far as the laning phase is concerned, and Summit and Dove, fantastic. Probably a little bit more in favor of Summit. As the Bear Trap is going to attach to him. Moving on over. Yeah, does find that level 6.
Wall of Pain.
And the Wall of Pain gank is going to come down. First Skittle misses. Second Skittle is flashed as Summit has the Inspire Shield. But he's very much dead, and First Blood is given to Cuz. And the disaster begins for Sandbox.
And that's a really good pickup right now for Cuz. He gets the kill as well, which is going to be most valuable on the Karthus early on. He's going to transition down through River now as OnFleek. He's going to waste his red buff duration.
The crazy thing is that Cuz had just been basically prioritizing getting good pathing around his jungle for the farm. Then wanders top lane, and perfect timing. Rascal is able to start things up with the charge. So this is just Cuz playing probably the best economic game on this Karthus that he possibly can. As Neon a little bit late to taking the blue buff.
No, if this were a solo queue game, that Corki is just not getting the blue. Okay, not with how he's been getting body slammed, both in top and mid.
The bodying was supposed to be deft, remember? And they even banned the dang Gragas.
And you know, you told me about it too, and I believed you, and you let me down.
Oh, look, no, it's scaling.
Alright, well, take a look at this. Summit just being way too gritty. He already had the crash. There was no way for Rascal to hold it. And then right here, we're going to see a pretty silly flash. You're never making it out, Karma. I hate to break it to you, but there's no universe where you make it out. So he ends up wasting his flash, which is a really big pickup for KingZone.
Flash also used by Rascal, though, to follow immediately, so at least he gets that. Cuz, though, holds on to his, so the Karthus is going to be very, very comfortable as he makes his way around his jungle.
He has Runic Echo.
Yeah,
he already has him.
That's really nice.
Alright, at 8 minutes here. Now, Requiem's up, so we should actually just be seeing laners trade recklessly. Even if Depth Intuition would get the quote-unquote worse end of the trade, it's not really the worst end. You want to keep the thresholds for both parties low, not this ping-pong game that we have, where they're playing as if they don't have a Karthus jungle on their team.
Do you know what I'd like to see? I'd like to see Cuz just press R.
Oh.
Just press it.
Just randomly to send a message?
Just throw it. Okay. As speaking of throwing it, Def's going to throw out his R button, lands onto Ghost. Great unbreakable value coming out from Joker, though, as Stand Behind Me comes in. Piercing Arrow doing a fair bit of damage there, and the Exhaust is all they're going to get. OnFleek making his way down. Deft is a decent target, but the Devour is still there. No one going to find anything in this
What
particular
the hell
gang
was
scenario.
Tushin doing?
Wandering?
Did you see it? The wiggle?
No.
He was just wiggling back and forth like he was getting his exercise on, not even running at them.
Have you seen Tom Kinch?
I think he was maybe expecting On Fleek to appear and then thought that would be a bad news bear situation, but with Cuz in such close proximity.
Yeah.
Really surprising. Hopefully we get a replay of it. I would just love to see Tom just eat that right out of Cardin's face. That would,
Delicious.
yeah, it would. Oh, man. I am so looking forward to eating buffs as I haven't played in quite a while.
Yeah?
I have not played.
I mean, you've been streaming a lot of League of Legends recently.
No, I do coaching. I haven't actually played myself. I'm gonna play it for the first time tonight in like 7 weeks.
Wow.
Yeah.
Alright, I could watch.
I'm looking forward to it. I'll see you there. You got a Twitch Prime?
Oh, hell yeah. Give me that Twitch Prime. I actually don't have Amazon Prime at all. I don't have
That's
access
all right.
to giving anyone
You're gonna
a
have
Twitch
to get
Prime.
it before you come to my channel.
I think Amazon's in Australia now, but it wasn't when I moved.
That's all right.
So I just
Get
don't
on a
have
plane,
much
buddy.
experience
I don't
with the
know.
older Amazon. I'm an old man.
You're gonna have
It's
to give me your Twitch
What
Prime.
is this fandangle Twitch situation? I don't know this stuff, man. I don't know why. I don't